welcome back to another episode of God It Together, where we talk about real life issues and we offer faith-based solutions. Come on in. Before we even do our check-ins, I want to acknowledge the sixth woman at the table.
And the sixth woman at the table this week is at Alexis Baker 2322. She commented on our episode on negative self-talk. Alexis, we thank you, girl. You rock for rocking with Got It Together. Thank you so much for your comment, and you are the sixth woman at the table.
Hey. All right, ladies, let's do our check-in. We got a great topic today, so let's get it started. How was
Well,
this week?
all the rave right now is from this guy over here. That party this weekend?
What?
How was that party this weekend?
Party this weekend.
What? That little party this weekend was everything.
Oh.
Okay.
Epic.
That little thing.
Hosted with Holden.
Yes, like that.
Held it down.
Held it down. They did what they do. Like, I kid you not. If you guys are ever in the tri-state area, Philadelphia, Jersey, Delaware, you got to look out for Hosted by Holden event venue. Can I just say, check the Instagram out, because the party that we had this weekend was lit, okay?
Yes.
It was lit. You're not even going to believe it, but you have to check it out for yourself. But if you actually need an event, this one right here, remember she got the outrageous candy bar? That's probably why. She is a party planner extraordinaire.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Good job. So it kind of goes in line with our topic for this episode is, can I bring my plus one?
Can you?
So we all have girlfriend groups, right? And then we have sub-girlfriend groups. And then we may even have like a sub-girlfriend group that, you know, it's kind of like a cross between an associate and a friend. Like they haven't quite made it into the friendship category yet.
Right.
So do we bring those people into our circles? Like, do we mix friendships?
I feel comfortable bringing in someone who I know is a good fit. They have to fit like a glove to be a part of the main friend group that I have. If I know you're not going to play nice in the sand with any of the girls that's in the main group, you have to stay in the subgroup, because I can't have the friction or the energy. All the energy has to match. All the love, respect has to match, you know? So that's what I drive for. You only get promoted once it's that situation. You only get promoted when you get, you know, that you play nice, right? So,
Well, do you have such great friends?
Yeah.
Your friends are awesome and
friends.
amazing.
I have amazing
They're awesome
friends.
and amazing
Thank
friends.
you.
Yeah.
Dee has brought her friends into the fold here with our friendship, and each and every one of these friends rock. And it's probably because she's such a
good person.
She's such a good person.
I said it on camera.
You did.
Cannot take it back.
But no, in all honesty, Dee is such a good friend herself.
Yeah.
You can't expect anything but her to have good friends, right?
And you guys are too. That's why I let y'all hang with me.
Aren't we lucky?
Aren't we lucky? Exactly. Aren't we
I
lucky?
think it's important though, because Dee, what you were saying is, as far as the fluidness of the group, you know, so coming in and being able to jump right into going with the current, not going against it, right? So I think that's very important, you know,
Say it again.
for you to know.
Say it again.
Please say it again.
Come on in and go with the current.
Right.
Don't go against the current.
Yes.
There you go. That right there, that's a good point.
Right there.
That's
Like,
right
you know
there.
what? You know that about that person. Just like you said, if I know that, they're going to get into the sand, they're going to play nicely, you really know that about the people that you hang around.
Absolutely.
Some people I would not bring into a friend group because I just know that their personality would not match.
And then too, you have those friends that are like negative Nancy's. You know, they're always down. They're always looking for somebody to pull down with them. You know, so you wouldn't bring those into your space of positive friends and your friends that you know that you can talk to and that are fun friends. They'll be like Debbie Downers. Like, you know, we don't want nobody wants to be around a Debbie Downer, right?
Right.
Really.
No.
So I
Not
think
at
we've
all.
all actually had the experience where we tried to mix friends and it might not have gone that well, right? So to your point of having those individuals who kind of can always see the glass is half empty. So they have like a lot of critiques around.
Oh, yes,
A lot of
yes.
They have a lot of critiques around what they see, right? So that kind of makes them difficult. And it doesn't just have to be friends, it could actually be family, you know, because,
That's true.
you know, they just, there's always just something, you know, like this is, I mean, everything was beautiful, but, oh, I really enjoyed that except for, you know, like that person. So when you bring someone like that into the collective and you see like, they constantly just bring, it makes things a little bit off. The energy's like a little bit weird. Like, how do we handle that? Friend or family?
Oh, I think the best way to probably handle a friend like that is with, you stay with that friend, basically. You know what I mean? You kind of like stay with that friend, let them know that they're your friend regardless of how they're behaving or anything. If it's against what you would like them, the way you would like them to behave around the collectives. The collectives might not be as accepting of that friend if that friend is around. So as long as you show them that you still care and love them. And
so you kind of babysit.
Yeah, you kind of like coddle.
Okay.
You kind of like coddle that one individual, you know? Yeah.
I don't even know if you can coddle enough. That individual might really just be, you know, feel offended by, well, everybody's not doing what I want them to do or acting the way I think they should be acting. So, you know, how much coddling can you do when a person is already in their mind, right? It's just against everything.
But the thing about it is you've already done it because that's your friend. It's been a long, well, I'm thinking of particular people that may be long-standing friends, and they've been like that all of your life, and you've known that they're that way. You've just accepted them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's the key word.
Yeah. You. Right. That's why I said you coddle them. You know, you coddle them. You know. So.
Okay, so we think that if those individuals come into the collective and they kind of have a different personality or they go against the current, to Tanya's point, then now you're responsible for just kind of micromanaging them while they're at the event. Okay.
Yeah, you bought them.
I think you kind of sort of slowly remove them back out.
There you go. Now you can
I
do
would
that
have to
too.
divide it.
So you usher them out.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm
After you invite them in, you usher them
You
out.
just slowly phase it out.
Okay.
You know, you just don't, you know when to bring them and not to bring them.
Right,
You know what I mean?
that's
Depending on
right.
the mood
Right.
and the environment. of the activity.
Right. Yeah. So
You pick and choose when they can come into the fold. Okay.
And that's important.
That is important. That's important. So what about when it's family, right? I mean, let's just call a spade, right? We love our family. Each and every one of us loves our family. But there are just some family members as well that may just not, you know, for some reason, it's just always a little bit off. I don't know. I can't never just say the right thing. I can't never do the right thing. I can't. So how do we manage that? Because that is now a person that we have to be in relationship with, right? Friends, we can usher them out. Show them to the stage left. But for family members, you know, and I'm saying this because the holiday season's coming up, and you know, a lot of people are going to be coming together, and you know, as women, we need to figure out how to maintain our peace. And also be Christ-like in atmospheres where, you know, we may have chosen to not be bothered with this person since the block party, right? So we ain't seen them since the cookout. But now Thanksgiving's coming and we about to get together again. So, like, what would your advice be to, you know, kind of navigate those waters during these times? Because you want it to be a happy time.
Yeah.
I think you can have a conversation with that person.
Okay.
And just be like, you know what, I love you and I really want you to come to Thanksgiving. But I'm gonna need you to try your best to just be kind.
Right.
Just be kind because we all strive to be better. No, none of us is perfect. Just be kind. Just cut back on the negativity. Say one or two things that are nice, you know, because we do want it. We want you there. We want you in our space. We care about you. We love you. And anything that I am saying to you is out of love.
Right.
And you know that it's out of love. So if we could just have a conversation with that individual and just tell them, you sometimes, you kind of like draw the air out of the balloon with negativity, and we don't want that this Thanksgiving. You've done it for the past however many things.
I think that's important.
You know,
to,
just a
to have that
conversation.
conversation as
Yeah.
well. But one of the things I was thinking about is individuals who that's what you accept, and that's okay. But the expectation is not for everybody to then act differently.
That's right.
To allow this person to feel comfortable. And I think we got to be careful about that because people have their own opinions. They have their own, we respect their opinions as well. But I don't think that I would expect people, like especially in the family, okay, we don't always have to make room for them and their ego. You don't have to make room for that at all. Come and be yourself. Because I don't want anybody else feeling uncomfortable because we've had the conversation with this person to come in and, really trying to be nice and cordial. But I don't want anybody else feeling like they got to walk on eggshells because if I say this or I do this, this person might, take it offensively. So I want to also, if I'm having a conversation like you suggested, I want to also let people know that the expectation is come on and do what you do. You know what I mean? That I'm not asking you to do anything differently. Of course, we're called to love, but I'm not asking you to bend over backwards because to fit somebody's,
Just be kind. Basically, all we're asking them to be is kind. That's it. That's it. That's it. Don't come in a space of negativity and drawing the energy from others when they're trying to be in a positive space. Come in and be positive. Just be kind. And if you can't be kind, just be quiet. Really.
Stay home.
Or stay home. That's always an option. That's always an option.
Nice. Okay. Okay. Well, that's some good advice. And as we, just with the holidays coming up and getting prepared for all those things and wanting the relationships to go as smoothly as they possibly can, and having those conversations that are a bit difficult, and then if the person decides that, well, you know what, no, I'm going to miss this year's Thanksgiving, then is it whose responsibility is it to walk in love, so to speak, to just try to navigate that situation? Because I know a lot of times if a person is corrected, right? If a person is challenged, if a person feels threatened, all these feelings come up and we don't always, know exactly how to process them. So the first thing we do is become defensive. Let's just be honest, right? The first thing we do is go to defense mode.
What are you talking about? Why are you always looking at me like I did something?
So that person, I'm very well. When that happens, right, do we allow, or is it a recommendation that you just say, okay, well, this Thanksgiving, they're not going to be a part of it, and then we'll have a second conversation later? Or is it something where, we're going to give them some time, allow them to breathe, and then go back and revisit the topic? I'm asking these questions about this with so much clarity needed because holidays are a really difficult time. And we're blessed at this table that we have some really strong family units. But in talking to other women, I know that this is not the norm, right? And we want it to be the norm for everybody. We want them to be able to come together as a collective and be able to eat a meal together and, to love on each other. But when we know that 7 out of 10 families don't operate this way, then what can we impart into our viewers to say, if this difficult situation occurs and you have that mother who is not that nice and not that kind, and you're holding your breath as you have to walk in with the macaroni and cheese, and you're counting down the time, I'm only going to be here for a half an hour because I'm going to bring the kids so we can all eat real quick when we're running out of here. How are we just suggesting to them that, okay, well, maybe not go to the Thanksgiving this year. You know what I mean? What are some tools that they can use in order to go enjoy yourself and make it some quality time?
I would think it all depends on who our audience is. When I say our audience, I mean, who are we speaking to?
Okay.
Is it our cousin our age? Is it our grandmother? Is it auntie? Is it Uncle Jojo? You know what I mean? Who's best to handle that? Is that grandma to handle her son? Or is it, the niece to handle the father? You know what I mean? So it all depends on who we're talking about that we should actually pass the baton and say, you know what, Mom, can you please talk to your son? Or, you know what I mean? Donna, talk to your husband. You know what I mean? Pass the baton. Don't take it upon you, and then have a general conversation with the person you think you should, should be making that comment. So it's not reflecting on who you think you are. You are younger than me. You don't talk to me like that. Or, you don't want to lose the respect, but you want somebody who's going to gain respect from the person who's telling the story or asking of of them
Yes.
what you asking them to
So
Excellent.
I like that.
if I'm hearing you right, D, what you're saying is it should be the individual who the difficult individual respects the most to have the conversation with.
I
them.
believe so.
I agree
you,
with that.
You cannot just come up
I
to
agree.
cousin
I
JoJo
agree
because
with
y'all
that.
want to be right.
Right.
You know
That's
what I
right.
mean?
That's good. That's good.
That's excellent.
Yeah. The one that's most
Right,
respected.
right.
Yeah.
want to go over well.
That is, that's really excellent because I just feel like in this time, in this season, like people need tangible things that they can do to make these relationships work. We can ostracize ourselves and be, lonely men on islands. Well, I do stuff with my family. I got my family over here. But when it comes time, the family is really disintegrating right now, right? Like everybody's just being so pulled apart. Everything is just so divisive. And, when we think about, how we're supposed to be, right? God wants us to love each other. Like we're supposed to love our neighbor as ourselves. So if he wants us to love our neighbor that way, he definitely wants us to love our family that way. So I just wanted to be able to give, some tools in order to be able to start to establish those relationships, And I think in going back to it with the friends, I think something really powerful that I think millennials actually started this was the Friendsgiving.
Yeah, I like that too. I like that too.
Yeah, and I don't know if Ashley does it with her friends or if Sabrina, but like Friendsgiving is really powerful that they come together and they kind of have like a potluck thing and
game night and everything. It became very popular to me at least. About 4 or 5 years ago, I never heard of a Friendsgiving. It was always Thanksgiving. But it's a time when you come together, you're talking, you're joking, you're with your peers, you know what I mean? You're at the same age, you're drinking, you're talking, you reminiscing, playing games, and still, eating together, joining, having a meal together. I think that's amazing.
I think that's awesome too because it doesn't take away from your family time.
Right.
Like when you want to go and have Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving with your family. Because I know typically from what I've seen the kids doing is they usually do it like the day before Thanksgiving, and then Thanksgiving Day they can all get together with their family.
I think that's good.
And I think it is good too. I think it is good too. And on the same subject, as Dee was saying about how to bridge that conversation and who should bridge the conversation with the difficult person, that respect factor is so important as long as it is an individual that they respect because obviously they want to be there because they wouldn't show up. So there's exactly. They come the same way every year. No one ever called them on the carpet probably, but if they get that person that they respect and the reason that they come, you know what I mean? Because we obviously come for a reason. We want to be with our family because we thank God most people can get a meal somewhere else. You don't necessarily have to go to your family's house. You can have it at your own house if you want to. But if it must be a reason that you want to go to your family member's house because you care about your family, somebody there. So that person that that y'all have that bond should be the one to bridge that conversation. So I think,
It's
yeah.
good that somebody calls the morning. So
Because they'll hear them. They'll hear them better and
They'll
clearer.
receive it.
They'll receive it better from that person. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Because I just think what happens is if that person does come and they're constantly, a hindrance to the group, what either happens is they show up and show out as normal, or they become isolated because people just ignore them like they're not even there. So either way, it's a negative consequence that, no one really wants. So, I'm just always trying to figure out ways of how we bring each other back together, as a collective, because as a family, you're so much stronger when you're together. The world is so hard.
Yes.
But the world is so hard out here right now.
Yes, it is.
And trying to do life with, just you and your personal family when you have an extended family for a reason. So we know everybody is not, going to be a part of that group all the time. But as much as you can introduce those people into your life, I just feel like it would be better.
And then too, what I think would be a good practice for all families would be to just concentrate on what it is that you're thankful for. And maybe this is something that we've incorporated in our very own families is we all go around and name at least one thing that we're thankful for. And then it kind of like brings everything full circle. The reason we're here right? It's because we want to give thanks.
Yes.
So if everybody in the family would bring that individual in, and I think even if you start off like that, just everybody saying one thing that you're thankful for, it'll take away all the negativity that person may bring. It'll shift the energy. Yes, gratitude shifts the energy.
Yeah, that's
you
so
know.
true.
Yeah.
And another thing that we've done in our family is to have a prayer Pollyanna.
Yes.
So, you know, we'll all take a piece of paper and write down something that we're praying for, and then we'll pray for it from Thanksgiving till New Year's for the individual, you know, so that we're all praying on one accord. So we know that when two or more come together, there he is in our midst. So we now give that person, and it kind of brings a closer relationship between you and extended cousin that you may not talk to, right? So now it's like, okay, cousin, this is what you're looking for? You trying to get this house? All right, I got you. We praying together. So then after in January, at the beginning of the year, you text them and like, I've been praying for you every day. You know what I mean? I hope your prayer comes through. Right, and then if the testimony comes, or when the testimony comes, then they feel like they also assisted in that. So I think that's
awesome.
you know,
and then
really
it also
powerful.
shows the power of God, right? Because then you get to see, you know, I've asked somebody to pray for me in this area. I've been praying for myself in this area. And like you said, Sarita, when two or more come together, he is in our midst. And then to see the results of that thing, you know? And the word says we have not if we ask not.
Right.
So God, we are asking. And it's two of us. We're together, so we know you here.
That is so true. So I just want to go back to the Friendsgiving for 30 seconds because, you know, that's something that's kind of new, and we have never done it in our, you know, age group or generation. But like, would you guys be open to doing a Friendsgiving?
Absolutely.
As long as I can cook.
Yeah, G, as long as you host it.
You can cater.
Or cater, what's the difference?
Or have Mark throw some ribs on the grill.
We're supposed to do a potluck, so everyone.
Thank you.
I think that's a great idea. I mean, I love what we all have anyway. You know, that we
it's so
instituted. Just
special.
being able to come together once a month is very important. So, you know, guys, if you have a friend group or it's just you and a friend, it doesn't matter. But it's great to be able to, you know, just adopt some of these things. It's reference to spending time together. Quality time is so important because we all have families and it can get really, really busy. But we are committed, you know, to going out once a month, just having dinner together. So that's something I think is very important because it opens up conversation that we may not normally have, you know, when we're doing our check-ins, and it's very important.
And we all need one another.
Yes.
We all need one another. There comes a time in everybody's life when you're gonna need somebody to talk to.
Yes.
And it just reminds me of Proverbs 17:17, and I'm reading from the Amplified. A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. So like, that's just so powerful to me. Like, you know, friends, God really honors friendships, right? And he just wants us to have somebody to be able to lean on and to rely on and to talk to and to pour out our hearts and to share with and to cry and to laugh. And I think that's what makes our friendship work so well, is because we all have like a role. You know, like everybody knows their role, so we kind of work like a well-oiled machine. So in, you know, taking the conversation full circle to, you know, bringing my plus one, you know, one of these closest plus ones we're all friends with, like, she just came from Paris with her. And by no offense am I bothered by it. You know, I text both of them, like, have a safe trip, send me pics.
Keep an eye on her.
Keep an eye on her, babysit her, bring her home safely. You know, but I think you have to have that. I think a problem comes in friendships where there's competition. Or where there's where there's jealousy, or, you know, well, they out there in Paris having a good time without me. I want to be in Paris with them. What they doing in Paris? You know, because it's a whole bunch of fear of missing out. Then it's insecurities. Is she going to like me more than she likes her? You know, all those things. When you can just put that stuff aside and recognize that our friendship is our friendship. The intimate dance of our friendship is different than the intimate dance of you and T. Is different than the intimate dance of me and Tanisha's. It's different than the intimate dance of you and Jake. It's, you know, like, we all have our dance and our cadence in the way we operate as a friendship group. So we may not always bring them into the collective, but there's times where we all come together, big group. We just did it this weekend and had a phenomenal time. But I think that's where some of the challenge comes in. You know, just knowing your role and being comfortable,
staying in your lane,
in your role. And it kind of takes me back to another episode that when Tanya was talking about one of her pet peeves was people who gossip and, backbite and, talk about other people. We don't have that, and as soon as somebody tries to come in, and if they try to do something like that, it's like,
It's a red light. Like,
whoa.
Yeah.
Pause, wrong road.
Wrong road.
Wrong road.
Wrong road. We don't even allow those things to occur. So, I think that those are some of the things that you have to have in your friendship. You can't just try to people please to be friends with this group or with that group. Know who your real friends are, because your real friends stand the test of time.
Yes.
So once you know who your real friends are, to bring other people in is fine, because they see what the relationship is. It's like, they know they ain't coming between us. I'm like,
Exactly.
easy. Like you.
Special because friends are selected.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Your sisters, sure, of course they're special, but you're born into that family.
Yes.
But a friend has to be chosen.
Yes. Yes.
Really, really special. So we just love our friends.
Yes. And if you don't have friendships in your lives, try to establish friendships in your life. I had a wise man tell me once that I needed to have at least 4 women in my life, at least 4 women in my life that I could confide in, that I could share my deepest thoughts with, and they could share theirs with me, and we could hold one another accountable on things where we feel like we're falling short. Just those people to be there for you, that no matter what, they got your back.
Yes.
And they're so important. Don't take them for granted. Just show them the love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is good.
So, I think this has been another awesome episode. We're always excited to talk about friends, because people ask us all the time, like, how did you guys establish friendship? How are you so close? You guys go on vacation together. You go out to dinner together. You're each other's godparents. We have businesses together. So we do everything as a sisterhood. But they want to know, like, how do you do that? Like, what's the secret sauce? And the secret sauce is literally love, God, and then just respect for one another. We respect each other, and we recognize everybody's role. And no one tries to get into each other's lane.
And that's because we celebrate each other.
And
Yes,
we do. And I think we kind of know that God is no respecter of persons. What he does for one, he'll do for another.
Exactly.
So there's no reason to,
No reason.
And just
not
like,
celebrate.
Yours is yours.
What God has for you is for you. And it's just like when somebody in the group is uplifted in a certain way, we know God's in the area.
Yes.
Right? And if God is in the area, it's like, ooh, I'm going to get closer to Tanya. Because God is in the blessing building. He right in the area. So I don't want to miss out.
Yes.
Yeah.
So just in closing, I just want to say, I hope these tools have been really helpful for you. If you do have a family that you kind of have a tough time during the holiday season, we're here, we're praying for you. If there's anything that you need prayer on, please put it in the comments, because we are some prayer warriors, okay? We pray. We some praying sisters. So if you need some prayer, feel free to put it in the comments. You don't have to share anything personal, but if you just want family, if you're looking for family, if you're looking for family unity, if you're looking for love, we are here for you, and we would have no problem praying for you. And I also just want to remind you guys that to do a prayer Pollyanna, if you get together with your group, if you get together with your family, take a little piece of paper, write down a prayer request, and exchange them with each other and pray for each other. So, ladies, I think this has been a great episode, right? So we just want to say thank you for coming together to get it together with God it together.